Storm we've been tracking all week for you. It's almost here at this point. The weather system's still near the Rockies, but you can see that snow shower activity breaking out across the Great Plains. It basically heads almost due east towards us with some Arctic air on the way too. So we're looking chilly and snowy going into the weekend. Could be one of our top snow events of the winter so far, which isn't saying much because I think at the most we've seen 2 inches at a time. Different story going into this weekend. There are 3+ inches maybe around the corner, and all areas highlighted in purple here. Those for winter weather advisories going into effect at 6 o'clock tomorrow. This is to highlight where we could see that potential for heavier snowfall. Exceptions, Whiteside and Lee counties. Basically, this I-88 corridor could see well under 3 inches of snowfall, if not barely any snow. So there's going to be a sharp drop-off in snow totals on the southern end of this system. So let's track this out for you on Future Trek. Here we are at about 8:30 in the morning, starting to get some light snowfall moving our way. I don't think the snow really becomes steady until closer to 10 o'clock. Here we have the slightly darker, slightly heavier bands of snowfall coming in on Future Treks. Those darker colors, of course, mean more intense snowfall. And then from 10 o'clock onward, it's pretty steady snow. And note the difference, though, right within the US 20 to I-90 corridor, getting some pockets of heavy snowfall at times. So these areas much more likely to see 3+ inches of snow. Drops off, gets a lot lighter the farther south you go, especially as you get close to I-88 and south. So these are the areas like Dixon. May not see much, if anything, for snow out of the system. We continue to have snow showers through the evening, and note, even at times south of I-88, some snow pops up. It's just not as consistent to the north. Going into Saturday evening, possibility of some freezing rain mixing in, so there could be just a little iciness in some of the spots, not picking up as much snowfall. We then dry out pretty rapidly going into Saturday night and Sunday. So forecast calls for 3+ up to 6 inches of snow north of I-88. About south of I-88, it's a 3 or less. That's because, again, really not seeing a ton, and there's a sharp cutoff on the southern end of the system. This may still wiggle a little going into tomorrow, so we're going to keep you up to speed whenever we see that heavy band of snow set up. We'll let you know the areas that might be on the outside looking in when it comes to this weather system. Keep in mind at times, though, regardless if you're getting 2 inches or 6 inches of snowfall, it could come down heavily at times in the afternoon, so don't let that catch you off guard. Conditions may change very quickly in these elements, and like I mentioned, a little iciness possible in the spots seeing under 3 inches of snow. Some stronger winds kick in, some harsh cold kick in late into Saturday night and Sunday. So as the snow winds down, it feels pretty chilly. Temperatures only in the 20s for Saturday, teens coming for Sunday, and we're going to stay in the Arctic chill from there. We see more sunshine next week, but barely warming up. May not be back into the 20s until Groundhog Day. In your most accurate 10-day forecasts, the weather does stay quiet long term. It just takes a while for the weather to warm back up again. So February off to a very chilly start. Quite the opposite compared to what we've experienced so far this January. In the 4-degree guarantee, ending the week on a high note. Cash total up to $50. Hoping to double that up once we get to next week.